everybody. This is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. And this is episode number 106. I apologize. I did not have an episode last week. Something came up and just couldn't do it. But we're back, episode number 106. I always like to say in the beginning and the end of the podcast that if you want to be on the podcast, if you're a real estate agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com, and I'll be happy to put you on the podcast. My podcast is, all the podcast episodes are uploaded to my YouTube channel, which is Kevin's Corner on YouTube, so you can find them all there. And then again, I couldn't do the podcast if it wasn't for my team that I work with in both my offices. Jennifer Smitis, the area president, Caitlin Cornick, Devin Devin, Van Wynn here at Sugarland, and Gracie Lagos and Melissa Caruso over in Richmond, and everybody that works with us. Couldn't do the podcast if it wasn't for them, so I wouldn't have a place to work if it wasn't for them. But so now that we got all the important stuff out of the way, this is Brenda Stanley, owner of Brenda McMillan Photography.
Yep.
I got it right. Say hi to everybody.
Hi there.
So Brenda's on the podcast because every couple of years when I need to update my photo, she's the one that takes it.
That's right.
And she takes the photographs, the headshots for all of the staff that I work with here at both Sugarland and Richmond. She's a professional photographer. She's real good at her job. And
Thank you.
this last go-round, when you did the photographs, everybody called me and said, "Oh my God, that's the best picture of you I've ever seen."
Oh, good. That's what I like to hear.
And I'm not photogenic, so let's tell everybody, introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Well, I'm, like he said, I'm Brenda Stanley. I have been doing photography really since high school. I'm not going to say how long ago that was, but I've been in business for over 17 years. So if that kind of puts a little bit of a number to it. I own and operate a studio out in Rosenberg.
That's where I met you,
yeah,
right?
which is where you guys, but I don't think you've been to the new studio. So
Not
we
the new
opened
one,
up
no.
a 2,500 square foot space almost 2 years ago. So
It's bigger than my house.
It's huge, and it's amazing because
Golly.
we're able to have a ton of different backgrounds and backdrops. We've got rolling walls that we can flip around. We've kind of got like just different little sets set up. So it's perfect for headshots. It's perfect for high school seniors. Sometimes we do some, specialized sports photography. So we'll bring in athletes that want to do the smoke and the gels and all of the fun stuff. So it's a lot of fun. But I've been doing photography for a really long time. I think the older I get, the more I'm like, I just need to do corporate headshots. Like, it's just so much easier than the smoke and the gels and all the things, right? So I love what I do. It's fun, and I love having a satisfied client that gets all of these compliments on their photos. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was very surprising. So because I don't take good photos, but
I think when people are relaxed in front of the camera, I think that's a huge thing. And I hope that I can make people relax. Like, that's one of the things I kind of pride myself on. I'll get moms that call me and that are like, my son needs senior photos and he doesn't want to take them. And I said, just give me 5 minutes with them. It's not going to be painful. It's easy. I said, I'll make them relax. And I think when you can get somebody to relax in front of the camera, then you get their genuine smile, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's important. So yeah, it's fun.
So I like to introduce people to who you were and why you decided to do what you do. So I know you said you've been doing it for like 17 years, but what got you into it? Why did you decide to take pictures of things?
I will tell you, when probably when my first one, I have my oldest son is 26, and when he was little, I had always done photography in high school, but back then it was film, right? It was a long time ago. And so I started just taking pictures of him, and then I started doing pictures I had friends that were like, oh, can you take our family picture? Because they knew that I knew photography. And in college, I did some photography also. And so I think it was one of these things, like, I really enjoyed seeing these pictures. Like I like to watch things through my camera lens. And the coolest thing now is there's so many people that I've worked with for so long and I've done just continually over the years that it's just neat to see the progression of even their kids. I mean, I've had kids that I photographed when they were babies that are now, graduating high school. And so it's just, I love it. I'm passionate about it. And so there was a point in my life where my ex-husband now was making a career change and something needed to be done. And I was like, well, now's as good a time as any. I'm going to start my business. And literally over the weekend, I built a website and just from the word go, I took off. Yeah. And so there's only been probably in the very beginning, I probably went 3 or 4 years without having a studio space. And then I realized like I really need a studio space. So I've kind of been in different studio spots. But my long-term dream was to have a space like what we have now.
No, the 2,500 square feet.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So to see all of that come to fruition after working so hard and so long is really cool.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been really fun.
So tell everybody, are you open to the public or you just work with real estate?
So we are open to the public. It is by appointment only.
Okay.
It's one of those things, like I like to have a referral, but if somebody just calls me randomly and I visit with them on the phone, chances are, I can figure out a time to work with them and, photograph them. It is one of those things that I totally thrive my business off of referrals. I don't do a ton of marketing. I think because I've been in business for so long, people really will have a tendency to say, oh, this is who you should really use. And I so appreciate that. Like I could not do my business without referrals, I mean, you get it with y'all's business too. And, I think you want, I really pride myself on giving people just good quality work and making it fun and making the whole experience fun. I mean, I work with some oil and gas companies, and, these men do not want to take headshots. Let me just tell you, they don't.
I didn't want to do mine when you did it.
I'm like, oh my gosh, come on. And so I think for me, it's one of those things that, your headshot and your corporate headshot and your website is a reflection of who you are. And that's the first thing people see.
Yeah.
So it's got to be good. You want something that's going to catch their eye, that someone's going to go there and go, oh my gosh, it's almost one of those things like, what do you want to represent? You don't want some cell phone picture on your website that you took and you cropped out somebody's arm out of. I mean, that's what you see so many times on LinkedIn and on these websites. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not good. And you want to tell people like, hey, you really should do some professional headshots. So I think for me, it's really, really rewarding, but I love doing corporate headshots. That's super fun.
So if someone comes to you and says, hey, I need corporate headshots or I need pictures of my kid's birthday or whatever the idea is, but they have no idea what they want, are you able to help guide them in a direction that can make? Because I'll be honest with you, your headshot of me, the one we just took, it's the first picture of me I've ever liked.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So,
yay.
And I immediately replaced it with everything.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but
the
you
goal.
you have a tendency of making it easy for people to bring out their best image.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So how do you if someone approaches you like that, how do you handle that?
So usually, most people don't know what they want.
No.
A lot of times companies are trying, especially now, just like y'all redid this amazing office, it's just more modern. I think a lot of companies and real estate offices, title companies, corporations, whatever, will want more of a modern look. They don't want just a solid backdrop, right? Like they want something more modern. So I can show them different options as to what they might want. I did a headshot on Monday for an architecture firm, and we actually photographed that at this man's house who owns the architecture company. And it was amazing because, I mean, this house was incredible. He's just incredible. And so, for that specific person, that's what they needed. So a lot of times, like I'm working with the periodontist office in a few weeks, and we've talked extensively about this is what I think you could do for your website. It's not me going in and changing out their website, but I can look and go, if what's your thoughts? Do you want to modernize this? Here are some different ideas for backgrounds. Here's what we can do. There's so much now with AI that we can drop in some really cool backgrounds. So you could still have it on the drape, but then you've got another option. Oh, this looks like I'm in a, skyscraper in New York with my background. We had a company that they weren't in their new building. It was a new company that was starting, and I photographed everybody that was in the C-suite, right? All of their higher ups. And I got there and they were like, this is what we have to work with. And it was like this dark hallway. And I thought, okay, well, I have all my lighting. I looked at him and I go, don't worry, I got this. And when they saw the photos, they were like, I don't know how you did this. Like, that is amazing. And so it's one of those things, like, I really kind of pride myself on being Johnny on the spot when I get to a shoot. A lot of times we have people come into the office, into the studio. A lot of times I go on location. So, but we're there to really guide them and go, hey, these are some of the things that I would probably do. So yeah, we're absolutely there to help.
So are you, will you photograph one person, or does it have to be many people? Are you like groups only?
We do everything.
Everything.
So like I had a headshot session Wednesday that was one person that came in from this company, but with that company, I've probably photographed at least 100 of their employees. This was somebody that needed to update their headshot that we hadn't done in a while, and he drove out to the studio. So usually if it's one or two, I'll have them come into the studio, but if it's a group, we're happy to go on location. It's not a problem. I mean,
like when you came to us.
Like when I came to you guys, we just made an afternoon of it.
There you go.
Yeah. So
and so everybody knows, to let everybody know, you bring your own equipment.
Yes, we bring all the lighting, the backdrops, stools, the curtain, the drape, and everything. The other really cool thing that I had talked to you about at one point, if you have groups and you've got, turnover, people switching different locations and offices, we're able to actually photograph everybody on a white background and cut everybody out and composite group photos. So if there are people that are changing offices, you can just kind of remove them from the photo. So that's something else that I think a lot of offices don't think about, and I'm always the first one to go, hey, do you want me to composite this? Because things change, people move, people leave for whatever reason, or they switch to another location and maybe they don't need to be represented in that group shot. So there's ways to save money financially on not having to, I've got to bring a photographer back in to redo our group shot because every 6 months because the office changed or somebody decided to, leave or move or for whatever reason.
So it's technology is amazing now.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And you really have to stay up with it. Somebody asked me that the other day. They said, how do you stay up with all of the new, editing and AI and this and that? And there are so many programs out right now that work like hand in hand with Photoshop. I mean, it is amazing what they've been coming out with. So,
yeah, when I was in property management, I used the Adobe programs for logos and newsletters and documents, things like that. Now they have Canva and everything else. But, I showed you my podcast, the intro and stuff, and you said that was really cool.
It was
I
awesome.
didn't create that. I stole that from somewhere else.
Well, that's the thing. I was looking at Canva the other day, and my wheels are always turning, and I was like, man, there are people making a lot of money on Canva just creating templates. And I'm like right now I'm designing a tennis banner for George Ranch, and so I'm thinking, God, I could probably sell this on Canva. I don't know how I would go about doing that, but I know there's a way,
It's funny you mentioned Canva because I actually teach Canva.
Do you really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, see, so you probably know how to make
Matter of
money
fact,
on Canva.
I taught a class on Canva yesterday. So.
Oh wow.
Because real estate agents, for the most part, spending money on something like Adobe or something is just something they don't need to do.
It's expensive, yeah.
It's expensive.
It is.
So Canva, you can use it for the free version, or if
Yeah.
you want to spend $118 for the year,
Which is
you
so
know,
minimal.
so minimal, you have access to basically a what I call a dumbed down version of Adobe.
Yeah.
It's very easy to use. It's very
Yeah.
user friendly, and when you're done, you look like a graphic design artist
You
put
do.
together.
Yeah.
Because people compliment me on my flyers and stuff all the time, and I'm like, yeah, it took me 25 hours to do that when it took me actually about 25 minutes.
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, that's the thing. I spend a lot of time. I mean, just right now we're busy because we do photograph some teams,
Mhm.
but it's very time consuming designing
Mhm.
anything.
And when you took photographs of us last time, you took photographs of us in front of a black curtain, but then and you had your camera hooked directly up to the laptop,
Yeah.
so the picture went directly into there,
Yeah.
and then we could see several options with different backgrounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So
that.
I like to tether.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't always work when I'm at an office. I was at this one corporation doing a bunch of headshots, and their Wi-Fi was not good.
Right.
And so I have to have Wi-Fi to be able to tether and pull it in. But so cool because I could pull it in and go, hey, here's what it would look like with this background or this background.
Mhm.
What do you like? Yeah, and a lot of the women totally utilize that. They were like, oh, I think I like this one. So then I just marked it down. I was like, okay, this is the one you like. And listen, one of the programs that's getting ready to come out, it's some of the editing software that I use. It's going to be so advanced that I will be able to go into an office, say we have 60 employees that we're photographing. We will be able to run it through an editing program to maybe, remove flyaways or blemishes or, brighten eyes, lighten teeth, any of that stuff, to where it is going to immediately go to your phone and it can go straight to the client. That's what's coming. So I went to the last photography conference in Dallas, and we were at this booth for this company, and we were just talking to her, and I said, okay. She said, well, what are some of the things that you'd like to see? And I was like, well, because this editing software, a lot of it's done on sliders, which is what I was showing you, and it's so cool because you can just show everybody, hey, here's with the gray background, here's with the white background, here's with, you dropped into this cool background. And I was telling her, it'd be really neat to have something on there. A lot of times when men have beards, the beards go gray before the hair does, right? And so I said, if there was some sort of slider on there or editing part on there where you could change the color of the beard to kind of match the hair. And she was like, okay, thanks. That's great. And so, somebody's always out there working on stuff, right? To make our jobs easier. I mean, I do remember 17 years ago when I would sit and try to edit, and it was 45 minutes.
You had a roll of film, clicking it over.
I mean, but even when we did go to digital, and I would get into Photoshop, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, if you needed to remove a blemish, it was clone, move it over.
It was still a task.
So tedious. It took forever.
Well, it's like a couple of years ago when Canva came out with the background remover on photographs.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was like, this is genius, but how you do it? Now, all you have to do is click one button, and it does it automatically for you.
Yeah. Which Photoshop has that too.
Yes.
However,
but they used to not.
Like if you're trying to remove tennis strings or anything like that, it is hard.
Yeah.
It is
not
easy.
15 years ago, removing the background in Photoshop, you had to know how to use Photoshop.
Yes.
Now
I used to have a big book that was like 500 pages of Photoshop.
Refer to that, whatever you wanted to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started doing photography, like full time as a career, I remember one of my clients who I've had now for 17 years was like, hey, I didn't know a lot about lighting. Well, there were no YouTube channels back then. I had to go to the library. Yeah. And he wanted to book me for their gymnastics facility. And I thought, well, I can do this. And I remember telling my business partner, who I share the studio space with, Shayla and Neil, I remember telling her, she goes, oh my gosh, you booked this? And I go, yeah, I did. And she goes, how are you going to do this? And I go, I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to learn. And I ordered a set of lights, my first set of lights, and I was like, I'm going to figure it out. Like, I will figure it out. And, those pictures weren't great, I'll admit it, but They were okay, you know, with the equipment that we had back then and the equipment we have now. I mean, now everything is like you saw my light set up. Nothing's plugged in. It's all rechargeable. It's awesome. I mean, technology is great.
Yeah.
So
it's great when it works.
It is when it works. Yeah. There's times where I'm like, oh my God, I hate
So
this.
yesterday I was teaching my camera class, and I'm sitting there, I'm doing my presentation and everything, and all of a sudden I'm like, why is my laptop dying? Why is the juice just going away?
Yeah.
And it's the first time it ever happened. So we've determined that it must be something with the electrical where it was plugged in, because it's fine now.
Oh.
But I was just sitting there, and all the juice went away.
I was going to say because of Canva, maybe, because it's a bigger program to operate. Because remember when I was using the editing software when I was doing y'all's headshots, I go, oh my gosh, I need a charger.
But this was plugged into the wall.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. That's
So I was
it's got to be your outlet.
Yeah.
In this new awesome space that y'all are in.
No, in the Richmond office.
Oh. Oh, no.
Which is 25 years old.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, my building's 100 years old, so.
Yeah. But, technology is great when it works.
Yeah.
But, so tell everybody, you have a website, right?
Yes.
Tell everybody what the website is.
It is McMillanphotography.com.
And you're open to new clients.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We love new clients.
And then, without getting into pricing and all that, how do you price a job? How do you price a client's job?
So usually, if somebody comes to me and says, hey, here's how many people we have, we'll do it kind of on a sliding scale. If they've got more than 50 people or 60 people that need to be priced, you know, we definitely work with people because that's high volume. So we just kind of do it per person, and we average, you know, if somebody comes into the studio to do a headshot session, it's usually like 15, 20 minutes. You know, I take a little bit more time with them. If we're going on location and we're trying to knock out a ton of headshots quickly, it's going to be a little bit less time. But at the end of the day, like, I want everybody to be happy with what we've taken. Like, you know, when we were in there, I had some of the girls that were like, oh, I wish I didn't have the string on this jacket. And I was like, well, tuck it in and we'll Photoshop the little part off, you know?
Right.
So it's really, I can customize quotes for people. I do it all the time. And I have information that's on my website just about different pricing and headshots and everything. So, yeah.
And everybody's different. I mean, everybody's personalities is different.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you have to learn how to work with all kinds of different people.
But I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. I feel like the reason I am good at what I do is because I am a people person, and I love working with people, and I love meeting new people. I mean, my kids hate it because I'm always like, you know, I talk to everybody. They're like, Mom, you don't have to talk to everybody. I'm like, I'm just being nice. You never know who you're going to meet, you know?
And you never know who's going to need a photograph.
And it's fun. Yeah. So, I appreciate you having me on. There's a lot of information on our website. We're also on Instagram. It's B McMillan Photo.
Okay.
I was on Twitter, but somehow I got locked out of my Twitter account. So that's...
It's okay. We don't need Twitter.
Yeah.
Or X.
Who needs X? Whatever. So, and we're on Facebook too under Brenda McMillan Photography.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that you don't do a lot of marketing. It's basically referral business, but you are on Facebook and you are on X, and you do have a website.
Yes.
So you can be found on the internet.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And when I say I don't do marketing, like, I am not the person that's out there going, you know, hey, we've got this special going on or this special, you know, like, we stay pretty booked year round. Like, I have seniors that book a year out. So I have seniors that are already booked for the spring for this year. And then I have a lot of contracts with schools and just different accounts and stuff that we do contracts with on a regular basis that I've had for years. So all of that, I think a lot of times people are like, oh, you do headshots and you do high school seniors. I'm like, oh, no, we do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So we do stay pretty busy and pretty booked, but...
So if somebody calls you and says, I need to get a headshot, or my family needs to get a headshot, or whatever.
Or family pictures,
Are you 1, 2, 3 weeks, a month? How long, how far out are you?
It just really kind of depends. Like, in the summers, it's super hot, so we're not as busy. Fall is really busy. October and March are probably my two busiest months of the year. They're just nuts because we've got a couple little preschools that we photograph, and we've got just some sports teams and stuff that we do. And then we have all the families that want Christmas pictures. So we usually will do Christmas minis. We started doing last year at the studio, which is fun. So I usually will post stuff on Instagram or on my Facebook page, just upcoming events that are happening. Yeah. So, but I mean, here's the thing. If somebody needs something quickly, like the headshot that I photographed on Wednesday, she called me on last Friday and was like, is there any way you can get him in this week? And I am pretty flexible where I can kind of move around my day with things. And so unless I'm just completely booked solid, I can usually fit somebody in somewhere. I'm pretty easy. I'm like, even, a lot of times I'm like, well, can you meet me after work,
Right.
during y'all's normal business hours. So.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention, since we are in real estate, or I'm in real estate or whatever, so you work real estate agents and you do headshots.
I do.
So if you're a real estate agent out there and you're looking for a professional headshot, you need to hire Brenda.
I'm your chick.
So she can handle that as well for you. Have you ever done like a headshot event for agents?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No. There was one office that talked about doing it, and then I don't know, they just never did it. So yeah.
Well, then let's talk about doing something like that.
We could totally do
let's
that.
do that, so we can get a bunch of agents here and get them some
it'd be
headshots.
fun.
Awesome. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
My website is bmcmillanphotography.com, or you can get a hold of me. Should I give my phone number out?
Yeah, of course.
My phone number is 832-661-4378. So you can always shoot me a text or call me on that. And my email is bmcmillanphotography@gmail.com.
Awesome. So a little bit different type of a guest today, but still works. She's still an important part of our business and the real estate industry. And, guys, I'm all about helping people and helping real estate agents. And, so if you need a headshot, you need a photographer for anything, your family, sports,
Christmas
school,
cards,
Christmas cards, whatever, she can definitely help you with that. Giving your phone number one more time.
It's 832-661-4378.
And this is Brenda Stanley.
It's Brenda Stanley because I just got married in May.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
but it's still B. McMillan Photography.
B. McMillan Photography.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that is episode number 106. Thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Kevin, I appreciate it.
Guys, reach out to her if you need anything. And remember, if you want to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527. And thank you to Jennifer, Caitlin, Devaney, Van, Gracie, and Melissa. You guys are awesome. And I always end the podcast by saying that if you are a real estate agent and you operate the Fort Bend County area and you need title services and you're not using Stewart Title, shame on you. I will find you and I will call you. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.